what I'm going to talk is about the Fanhuan 之道, the way of the return. So that's the what I'm talking about is for emphasis in the chapter 2 of the Tao Te Ching. So chapter 1 is, we know, emphasize the one observe, the observation, 孤常无欲而观其妙，孤常有欲而观其效。So that's the one observe, the one observation. So that's the Taoist temple, traditional name with Guan. And what we do, the internal cultivation, also Guan, Nei Guan. So modern days, we popular word, the Qigong way of the practice. And the second chapter, they kind of like point out where to look, how to do it. So we all know, okay, so Qigong practice is about the Dantian. So that's the beautiful. So that's out in the chapter 2, the first line was 天下皆子美，自为美，斯恶已. We all know everything under the heaven, the beauty, because there's ugliness there. So that's the regular translation about that duality. You know, the whole chapter sounds like, you know, the beauty and ugly, good and not good, being, non-being. But if we look at the character itself, it actually gives us a different way of thinking. The cultivation is the part of the book is not just simply talking about the yin-yang philosophy, actually is a reality of a spiritual method, how to do it. It's a big principle and the key point where you to look how to do it, finding yourself. So that's an interesting part. So today I actually has my instrument there. That was a Qing instrument. A lot of people now knows the word Qing. Qing represents the heart. Have 7 string. It represents the yin-yang principles. We are kind of brought here. Also, random happened. I didn't think about it. Bring the instrument here. So reason also I brought it. I tried to show it. About 25 years ago, I carried this chain and spent a few days in Laozi's cave, where it's related with the place about this gold and the beauty and ugly part of the relationship. What's in the text, the beauty and ugly, and also that, you know, in the one of the line called Yin Seng Xiang He in the chapter 2. So modern version yin, the voice and the sound, harmonizing to each other, with each other. But if you look at the older version, the oldest version of the Tao Te Ching from the Guo Dian Chu Mu, the true state the version written on the bamboo, that line actually use a Seng, Yin Seng, the sound and the sage, the enlightenment. Create this harmony, harmonize each other. Actually, in the traditional way, we use a lot of sound, special vibration mantra, we call it 觉法, the secret mantra, and then, you know, chanting, music. This is 7 string, represents yin yang 5 elements. So it's a way to connect to your inner sage, we call it 内圣, the enlightenment. So that's the part. Also, the 7 is a kind of like an image of the connection between that beauty and ugliness. That the beauty is the animal sign. If you look at the zodiac, 12 zodiac, that's the position of the way goat. So that's maybe I write it on the character, the symbol first. So the goat, so the Oregon style, ox looks no big different. One is horn down, one is the horn stick up. That's the ox. So that's the part. The Mei, if you look at the Chinese character for Mei, is a beauty. Let's look the big goat. Big goat, great goat looks beautiful. That's the Mei, is words for beauty. And that's the position in the 12th zodiac. And so in traditional map, always south on top. So that's the usually in this corner, southwest. So that's the southwest important. So that's the, modern days you go to Chengdu, the Taoist famous temple, Qingyangong, the Green Goat Temple, is here, southwest, symbolic, also energetically represents your Dantian. If you learn the I Ching 8 trigram, Queen Earth, that's located in southwest. We are in the postnatal state of our life. So your belly is the southwest. So that's in Taoist. Zhang Bodong has a famous line about how to find your elixir, how to cultivate, gathering the medicine, great medicine. Go to the hometown, your home base, Xinan. 一直穿越采药处，须知西南是本乡。The southwest is your hometown, your home base, your life. That's where your belly. Don't have to go to Chengdu, Qingyangong. That's where the story was Laozi get his teaching there. But how get there? So the story, the Laozi Dao De Jing itself has a story. We all know the purple qi from the east. The story Laozi, the time, the Yingxi Zhou dynasty, Yingxi go and observe the sky. So the purple qi appeared on the eastern sky. He knew some enlightened master would be appeared. So he calculated, figured out where the master would be. So he figured out, go under the Hangu gate, meet Laozi. He saw Laozi, right on the old man, right on a green ox came from the east. Then he knew, recognizes the master, so he invited Laozi to spend time with him. That's the Lo Guantai. And that's where Laozi wrote Tao Te Ching story. Laozi finished teaching. Okay, I need to continue my journey to the west. And Yingxi asked master, well, I may never see you again. Could you please write something for me so I could continue as my guidance for my cultivation? So Laozi spent actual days, wrote the Tao Te Ching, just was story. So that's the ox place, the cow. So that's the earth branches is the Chou in the northeast. That's the ox place or the cow place. So the Chinese ox and cow not distinguish, we all call the Niu, the Qing Niu. So we really don't know Laozi right on a green cow or green ox. So that's the place. And that was a story, merging the birthplace. So in the 12 hexagram, this is a Ling hexagram, means deliver, related with ox. That's the title hexagram, deliver, birthplace. Also, this place is a symbolic represents postnatal life start and prenatal life. Here's birth locations, ox. And that's the whole, you go through 7 steps, stage, get to here. So, but in story with Laozi, I finished Laozi, would write Laozi where he went. So one important version I'm talking is about the not far from Lo Guantai West. So that's I brought my Qing about 25 years ago, spent time there. The special secret tunnel is still there. No one knows how deep, but the legend story was connected to Chengdu. So Laozi need to go through this narrow tunnel. The green ox is too big, couldn't go through. So he transformed the cow to the goat, small goat, all the way through the underground, because from Lo Guantai to Chengdu is very difficult. Mountain is all the mountain ranges. Qingming has it's very difficult to go through. Even modern day is still hard. So of course now they build a highway, big difference. So that's a Li Bo, Tang Dynasty. Li Bo has talk about that Shu Dao, that was that part. Shu Dao 9 you sang Qingtian, you go to the way to the Shu, the Sichuan province, the path is very difficult. It's more difficult than climb to the heaven. So Laozi easier, didn't go through climb, transform through underground, passing to the Chengde, appeared in the Qingyang. The order is called Qingyang Si. The marketplace did his teaching. And now, the temple continues there, the Qingyang Green God Temple. So that's the whole connection part. But that's the whole story what's about. So always about the message of the secret, the beauty and ugly. If you look at the ugly, actually, if you look at the that's in Dao De Jing, the Han Dynasty version uses this means usually ugly, meaning means chou. That's modern written for the all. So the earthly branch is chou, ugly, but the original written, this origin means earthly branch is chou. Pronunciation is same. This yu. 12 earthly branches yu, that's the was represents west metal. And this side is gui, ghost. Ugly, dead, ghost. That's ugly, scary. That's the chou, the original term. And that's the, but if you're looking at the written in the old version, the good and Chumu version on the bamboo, this also origin written is ya, same as this ya, pronunciation is ya. So so maybe get a new paper. So the original written is like, so yeah, it's like this. So that's important, is model of the universe, like a cross. If you go back to the pre-Zhou Dynasty Emperor's temple and the special ceremonial place, his palace, special building, the shape like this, has 9 rooms with a different time, different season, connected with different nature energy. The shape is model of the universe. So that's so in the old version of the ya, in the Laozi, the Dao De Jing, they written like that, as the. So it's also the shape of the ya, and but this version part inside have the cross line there. So the cross line is important to represent the 5 elements. Big Dipper, the heart, 7. Connection part, the 7, the rhythm of the spirit, the internal cultivation. So I want to show one of diagram I created called a speechless teaching, because in chapter 2, the conclusion is like, was 圣人为无为之事，行不言之教. Therefore, the sage conduct the actionless business and offer the speechless or wordless teaching. So what's that wordless teaching? So you have to do it by yourself. It's something no one can teach you. Anything teach you is not real. So that's why it's first line in the Dao De Jing is Dao Ke Dao Fi Chang Dao. Anything speak out is not the real Dao, not the eternal Dao. So you have to use your body to work. So that's what's in the second chapter actually give you the detailed instruction about the cultivation method. So that's about the beauty and ugly. So everything we speak out is public. Ugly thing, we hide in secret. We don't talk. So we all know Qigong, Taoist cultivation about Dantian, belly, it emphasizes the beautiful gold southwest about Dantian. But the important part actually that where the beauty came from is rooted in the ugliness part, in the ox, that position. So Laozi right on that Tao, the green cow. That's the secret part. So don't missing that part. So that's the part what I like to share this diagram I created called speechless diagram. So in this, remember the traditional map, top always south, bottom is north, left is east, right is west. So this is southwest gold position. So you see the postnatal trigram arrangement, the Queen Earth represents the belly. That's where you do the cultivation, internal alchemy cultivation, okay? And then, so reality you want to cultivate, make yourself beautiful, really get the Dantian elixir going, just because here is root, secret tunnel from southwest back to the root origin where Lao's root out origin. So that's place, Chou, ox position. So if you count that each stage is a 12 hexagram, 12 animal sign, get here is 7 string. So 7 stage. So that's what we call the Qi. 7 step back is back to where you origin. So Qi, Zhuhuan. You go 9 step, like from ox, you 9 step, where's the place you can go to do the practice, the U position. So that's the hexagram. Wind over the earth, this hexagram represents Guan observation. Laozi in the first chapter talk about this Guan, the master. So this is a symbol for Guan observe. So that's the part, so 9 steps. And the interesting part, if I talk about the U, this is US branch with ghost. That's the place to do the observation, how to return. Ghost is not that ugly. Traditional meaning means return back to where this position chose the ox place. This is a burial place of the metal, the spirit. So that's the origin, the reservoir of the place that's involved the mountain. That's the incarnation.